Welcome to the Cowboys LA Radio. I'm your host, Eric Trujillo. I'm coming to you today with a special guest, another lifelong Cowboy fan, and really the person that's been helping me out behind the scenes on the podcast all season long, my brother, Pedro Trujillo. Thanks for joining me today, Pedro.
What's up, Eric? Glad to be on.
So today we're going to be doing a two-part show. Again, we'll start with today's show, which will be the Cowboys offense versus the Packers defense, and then tomorrow, to make sure you tune in for part two of the podcast, which will be Aaron Rodgers basically versus our defense. So Pedro, I know that we split up assignments this week, and you're going to watch a couple of the Packers games. Which ones did you look at?
Recently I just saw the Packers Giants. I saw that. I saw the Packers Vikings. I saw the Packers Chicago. And then I saw the Packers-Seattle game. Those are the ones that I've seen. I want to check out the one that you saw was the Titan game. That was early in the season, but I try to focus on the second half because that's where they've improved.
That's true. People think that, or they've been saying that we're going to see a completely different Packers team. The reason why I was really intrigued and interested in the Titans game is because they have a very similar formula to what the Cowboys have, where their defense is not this unstoppable defense. And on the offensive side, they have a young QB who can run the ball in Mariota, and a running game with DeMarco Murray that's somewhat prominent, like our game, and they have a very good O-line. So what I saw from the Packers D was it is a 3-4-D, which is something that you and me talk about all the time. 3-4 defense is something that it looks like we can run the ball on a whole lot better.
It's Don Capers. We've seen him before, 2014. So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing that, as Cowboy fans, we've seen in the past. So, it's nothing that's kind of changed for them.
Yeah, I don't think that... I don't expect them to stop us this game. Really, after taking a look at them, DeMarco Murray was able to shred them. Like, first play of the game, he took it to the house. It was off tackle to the left. Nobody missed. I mean, it was just a gaping hole, and he was gone. And then, so that kind of reminds you of something that Zeke can do. If you give Zeke the hole, he'll hit it, he'll be gone. Mm-hmm. And then, off of that, they pretty much ran their play action the rest of the game, and they couldn't stop them. The first 4 drives for the Tennessee Titans in that game all ended up in touchdowns.
Yeah, and watching the same thing. Watching the Chicago game actually is the one that I kind of really want to focus on. Is Chicago kind of runs the same thing. They're in a 4-4-3 like us, and same thing, but on defense. I'm sorry, the Packers just couldn't stop them. They couldn't stop them. Matt Barkley, which we're not going to say Matt Barkley is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, he had a really good game against them. The one thing that helped the Packers win is that they couldn't punch the ball in the end zone at the end, and Barkley threw, I want to say, 2 horrible picks. Just, wow. Where'd you throw the ball? Like, look at when I saw the pick, I was like, where are you throwing the football? But outside of that, it was open. The middle of the field was open. Plays were open. I thought the Packers had a real tough time getting to the quarterback. And that's the Chicago Bears offensive line.
True.
So, with our offensive line, hopefully we're going to have time. It's just, I think the main thing is, can Dak not make the mistakes that the other quarterbacks make?
True. And recently what we've seen the whole season is Dak is the kind of guy he'll check on his reads, and if he doesn't think someone's open, he won't throw the ball. What I'm hoping that we see from him more this time that we didn't see that first time, he had one really nice run, and I believe he ran for a touchdown against the Packers the first time around, that we see a lot more of that, where if it's not there, boom, take off and run. But you're right. I mean, I'm not scared of their defense at all. People keep talking about Aaron Rodgers and their offense, but I feel like people are forgetting how good our offense is and how the monster that we have under Zeke Elliott. If I had to take a look and say that there was a weakness on their defense, when I saw it was against the last time that we played was Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde all day long got toasted by Cole Beasley, and he can't guard him. So that's what they put in the slot. Mm-hmm. So if you just look at that, I think it's gonna come. This game is gonna come down to. We'll obviously talk about their offense in tomorrow's podcast, but it's gonna come down to, can we just keep putting pressure, keep scoring points? How about you? Who's someone that you thought was like, okay, we need to attack that guy?
I just thought their edges. I want to get to the edges because I think Clay Matthews, from what I've read, he's banged up. He's got a bad shoulder. Julius Peppers, I mean, he's still good, but he's not the Julius Peppers we knew in Carolina. or with the Bears, but he still can still make plays. So I think we're gonna have the opportunity to just run to the edges. And the one guy I think they were talking about is a guy from UCLA, their defensive end. He's the one that I think is gonna line up what Ryan Brodus was saying too, was he's gonna line up over Ron Leary.
Nick Perry.
Yeah. Not Nick Perry. It's the other guy. That's the guy from SC. It's the guy from UCLA. I forget his name. It's not Franklin. It's he's one of the D tackles inside.
Okay.
But he's like, I think, one of their best players. Young guy. So I think that's. I'm interested. I'll be honest with you. I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do with Dez, because the last time we played them, obviously Dez wasn't there. So either you're gonna pick your poison. You're either gonna try to stack the box and stop us with the run. If you're gonna put 8 in the box, you're gonna be one-on-one with somebody, right? So somewhere along the line, something's got to give, right? So I'm interested in seeing. I think, again, most important thing, don't turn the ball over.
True.
If we don't turn this ball, if there's no turnovers in this game, I think we win.
I think that's one thing that I've really been thinking about all week long is the underestimation of Dez Bryant playing in this game. We were able to run the ball with them on them last time without him, and putting that caliber of a receiver out there, along with Cole Beasley. They know. Trust me, they know they can't leave Cole alone. And then just having Dez out there, they're gonna have to put someone over the top because none of their corners can guard them 1-to-1. So I'm excited. I think that this is gonna come. It's gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be a shootout. We'll get into the defense a little later. But the reason I say is the other game that I checked out was the Redskins-Packers game. Yeah. Redskins kicked their butt.
They lit them up.
Yeah. It was just a romping. But you know how they did it. You would think that it would be Kirk Cousins throwing all over, and it really wasn't. It was really Rob Kelly running the ball on them, you know? And then it's nice to cross-check. And so I went back and I looked at the Cowboys game versus the Redskins, and they couldn't run the ball on us. They weren't very prominent running the ball with Rob Kelly. I mean, they had some nice things, but it wasn't like this monster run game that they have.
Nobody's really run the ball on us all season,
right.
Just to be honest. Nobody's really had the success. There's chunk plays here and there, but for you to say, the Cowboys got demolished in the run hasn't happened all season.
And so it kind of brings us to that point that the Packers' run D is just not good. Titans went on it. The Redskins killed it. And even last week, Paul Perkins and that Giants offense that can't run the ball at all had 105 yards against them. Yeah. So to me, it's like what you said. They're gonna stack the box. I don't think it's a matter of are they going to or they're gonna have to. They're gonna stack the box. They're gonna say, "Hey, Dak, beat us." And the last time that 2-minute drill, if you remember, what did Dak do?
Went down the field.
Yeah, it was like a minute and 30. Yeah. Boom, precision right down the field. Are you worried about Dak?
I'm a little bit worried. Just because you're a rookie. I'm not trying to downplay what a great season the guy's had, but you're a rookie, so I'm just kind of hey, rookie jitters happen. You're a quarterback. It's your first game in Dallas under the stars. I mean, this is the Dallas Cowboys. This isn't just the LA Rams. So I'm worried about how. I hope he does well. I hope the one thing I really have faith in is Coach Linehan. I think Coach Linehan is gonna have open up the playbook. I kind of get the feeling, maybe I'm wrong, but I get the feeling that he's got a lot of stuff in his back pocket that he hasn't let out yet. You're not gonna show your hand to everybody throughout the whole season. So I kind of think Coach Linehan's got that ready for the playoffs. So I'm really excited to see what they come out with. Talking
about coaching, it makes me think about Jason Garrett. Because I think you and I both know, and we talk about it all the time, Packers head coach, if it's 4th and 1, what's he going to do? Yep. He's going to go for it. If it's 4th and 3, he's going to go for it. McCarthy's not going to stop. I think for them, this is a game where they're supposed to lose. Yeah. They've seen us once before. They know we put up points. Yeah. So every time it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, I think we're going to see them. Because last time that's what they did. They settled for field goals. Yes. So I think we're going to see them.
We had that big defensive play by David Irving, too. In the red zone. He fumbled the ball and got the ball back.
And so I think that really puts the pressure on them. I think that's in the back of their minds. And I think every time that they have a chance where that's a risky call, he's going to call that. He's going to say, okay, Aaron, go for it. Yeah. So what do you think? With the experience that we've had, not in past years, but just in this year alone, What do you think? Is Coach Garrett gonna go for it on 4th and 1,
No,
4th and 2? Or he's gonna be safe.
It depends on be a situational coach. I think Coach Garrett's always like that. He just well, I think just Coach Garrett is I just think he's a conservative guy. I want to say maybe once this season he's gone for it where I was just kind of like, okay, Coach, So I hope if it comes down to it, hey, if it's a yard in us and putting away the game, I would want to do it. Again, I think it's all going to be based also to see how our defense is playing. If he thinks our defense is holding up and doing well, he's going to put them back out there and trust them with Marinelli. But I really hope we ride the strength of this offense, and that's our offensive line and Zeke Elliott in the backfield.
Me too. If it's 4th and 1, and we're on the other side, we're on their side of the ball, I think we should be going for it every time. Touchdowns are going to win this game for us.
Still have nightmares of DeMarco Murray and that
fumble.
house-sized hole in Green Bay. So I hope we just run it down their throats. I think we can. I just really, really hope we take advantage of that. And like we said, we know they're going to want to stack the box. We know they're going to want to stop the run first. But then I think, like you said and I said, it's Dak Prescott beat us. And this is on you. Can you make throws to Cole Beasley? Can you make the throws to Terrence Williams? Can you make the throws to Jason Witten? Can you hit Bryce Butler? Can you hit Dez? Those are going to be the big ones. And and another thing I kind of saw, just a tidbit, and I think we have an opportunity to score on special teams. I was watching the Packers, and every time somebody the Packers kicked off to somebody else, the receiving team got really good return. Like 3 or 4 times, the Vikings did it, the Bears did it, and then who else did it? One more team did it that I was watching. Seattle did it. So I think we might have an opportunity. I know we've been kind of down on Lucky Whitehead, but I think we have the opportunity to get a good return, or maybe hopefully take one to the house.
He had a big play offensively the last time in that game.
Reverse.
So it's possible. I mean, that if there's that crack, I think that Lucky is the kind of guy that can get it going. But talking on Dak, and this is theoretically, you and me have been talking about Romo the whole season, how we would be as good or just as good or a little bit better with Romo behind the offense. If it's halftime and it's 14-0 and Dak's having a bad game, do you think we see number 9?
No. I honestly think the Dallas Cowboys are going to ride with Dak Prescott, be it what it is. If it maybe gets to 21 or down 21 and maybe in the 4th, maybe, or if you have Dak Prescott that comes out and throws out 3 picks in the first half, maybe you see that. It is what it is. Like you and me have talked, I think that ship has sailed, and for us as lifelong Cowboy fans, it is what it is. I think that ship has sailed, and it's Dak's team, and we're gonna ride with the guy, and hopefully he leads us to the promised land. I'm like nothing but respect for what he's done for the team this year. I just, I'm always just cautious just because it's a rookie quarterback. And that's it.
Obviously, that's not what we want to happen. We're behind Dak 100%. Yeah. But it's for me, it's comforting to know that if anything happens, we have a wild card. If we see something going on in the game that's not going away, I think us and all the other Cowboy fans know out there that if there's anyone that could pull a game out of nowhere, it's Tony. And it's just nice to know that if we get into any kind of trouble and we seem like things are doomed, we have that wild card that we could throw in at the last quarter and a half.
I don't want to see Mark.
But hopefully not. We're not going to see. He's going to be inactive, but we have Tony Romo back there in case we need a miracle, guys. And we were not going to need it. I don't believe we're going to need it. I think I'm going to be confident and say we're going to run the ball down their throats. Dak's going to complete plays off play action, and we're going to get some points. I think at least 34 points this weekend from our offense. That's going to do it for this part of the podcast. Join us tomorrow again as we're going to look at Aaron Rodgers, basically, because that's the guy that makes them go. Just a quick thing. If you're in Uptown Whittier this weekend, game is at 1:40 p.m. on Sunday. The Southern California Dallas Cowboys fan club will be hosting a party, and they will be doing a $10 raffle for a signed Dak Prescott jersey. So if you're down there, join them. They're a rowdy bunch, and they know how to have a great time. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.